So Holding is based on a novel by Graham Norton, and it follows the career of kind of a blow-in cop.
PJ Collins, who is a misfit, an outsider.
A man who's facing his own demons and who's hiding from society in this
small town called Duneen in West Cork.
So many years being a Garda, he suddenly, at the age of mid-50s, gets his first murder case.
A skeleton is found
Of a local Lothario who was sleeping with two very different women in the village.
It follows the people and the drama that unfold from there.
It's kind of a whodunit.
And it's a romp.
It's full of really complex, lovely people.
It slowly kind of starts to unravel different secrets that the town's been hiding.
Holding is basically two uses of the word, one being small holding, as in the little farms that a lot of our characters scrape a living from, and the other is the secrets that they're all holding from each other in the word.
So I'd met Graham socially. I knew he'd written his first book. I knew it was a murder mystery. My first ever job was on Midsummer Murders. So I've been looking for the right whodunit to tell. So then a whodunit set here, it felt like a no-brainer. So I entered the beauty competition to woo Graham for the book and won. And that was about 6 years ago. I decided to write it myself and then was introduced to Karen Cogan and brought Karen in on it with me.
I was talking to him about something I had in my mind. I've always been obsessed with people who stay put and why, and particularly sisters. And I had an idea about some sisters who just stayed in the same house for a long time and chose not to sort of venture out too far. And he said, actually, some of what you're talking about is at the core of this Graham Norton book I've got the rights to, and so he brought me on board.
My dad grew up here. This farm here is our neighbours that I used to play around, hit these fields when I was 2 years old. So it's celebrating West Cork. It's a show very much about the people here. You've got a great crime whodunit taking you through it, making you want one more episode, but it's really about character. And for me, it's coming home as well, which is important.
They found bones up at the Burke farm.
What class of bones?
Adult, big skeleton, man I'd say, been there a while.
Jesus, Mary and Holy St. Joseph.
It's a complicated one because it's very loved and it's very held by people who've read it, which is great for us. But at the same time, there are certain things when you're adapting for TV you want to rip up or expand or excavate.
Graham's so clever and has been so involved, but also said to me, you make it your own and you do what you want to do to expand the world.
He's been incredibly generous with letting us go off on tangents or try something new.
You know, the book is one thing and then the adaptation is another. And everybody who's read the book has their own idea.
There's always a bit of a panic, you know, to live up to the characters because Kathy has one idea about the character, Dom and Karen have another, Graham has another, the audience have another, and I suppose it's kind of a big responsibility.
The scripts took me by surprise because it is based on, so it's not exactly the same. And I just thought the complexity of the characters was gorgeous.
I mean, every character in this is so rich and has a very satisfying arc to go through.
A certain sense of place as well, West Cork, that was really intriguing, you know.
Are my customers to be confronted every day with a brown house?
Well, I suppose.
We have made an agreement as a village.
The starting point for visuals on a job like this was really finding the village, because the village to me was one of the key components. Duneen is a town that is not interesting enough to stop traffic. People will drive through Duneen on their way to somewhere much more compelling. I was very attracted to the notion of creating a world as opposed to a smaller setting for a story. I mean, Holding was very much kind of centred on being within this world, this quirky village in rural West Cork.
He's been amazing. Seeing what he was doing, the village that he had mocked up, he'd built a map of the village as he saw it based on what we had written and what was in Graham's book. That was a really key moment for me where I suddenly was like, oh Jesus, we're making a TV show and we're building this world and it's really happening. We have an amazing locations team who have been scouting for a long time.
We chose Drimoleague to play as Duneen because it had a very interesting character. It was very characterful.
The locals know that there's a show shooting here and everyone is so supportive and so sort of giving.
The process here, it's been amazing.
So many different things were coming together in the ether, and it's been great escapism. And I think that's the great thing about the show as well for the audience. It's a place to escape to that actually exists.
It's filmed in the most beautiful countryside that Ireland has to offer. It's a story that people will really want to know, certainly the resolution of, but along the way, the texture and the characters that you meet are just, I think they'll be beloved of everyone.
I would certainly love the story, the twist, the murder, and the crack that's in it as well. I mean, it's very, very funny in places, but it's a very serious story.
The fact that it's funny and sad, I think there's nothing more powerful, and please God we get it right. Because you know, there's something making you laugh and then just punching you in the guts, just life.
There's a nice contrast in between the two, and I really feel that'll really resonate with audiences.
Yep. No news. Yes. On the way.
We've always wanted the show to be, the cast to be as authentic as possible. I think having Kath on as a director has helped immeasurably, because everyone, me especially, has wanted to work all their lives with Kathy Burke. She's amazing.
Working with Kathy is a dream, absolutely a dream. Kathy is totally driven by the story. She has a very no-nonsense approach.
When I first got on a phone call with her, I just was like an idiot. I was like, I'm on the phone to Kathy Burke. I'm on the phone to Kathy Burke.
I think because it's all these years of having done this work, she knows exactly what works and what doesn't work. She's incredibly generous and kind and polite and good-natured, you know, so it makes work very easy.
I love Kathy Burke, and I was really excited to work with a director who really was an actress, particularly in this where there are so many women, because you just know that she'll get it. So it's lovely that she's come from our world.
She adores actors, so watching her work with the cast and build these performances with them has been really beautiful.
This is one of my first jobs, and so they've really put me at ease.
Just amazingly talented people that you get to sit and listen to and you get to sit and watch. It feels a bit of a treat.
Dominic and Karen, who wrote it, are utter rock stars. All the crew, the production people, like, it's been, what a gift, what an absolute gift. And I'd say they're delighted to be working with me, to be honest with you.
It genuinely, the vibe has been incredible. We've had an amazing summer. Obviously hard work, but it has been amazing.
It's just, you have to pinch yourself sometimes and think, it probably just doesn't get any better than this. I don't see how it could. It's just magical.